Okay, I need you to stop scrolling for just 10 seconds. My husband is 64 years old, and last year, something shifted for him in the bedroom. Something that changed both of our lives. Not because of a pill, not because of some expensive gadget, because he finally learned one simple daily secret. And today, I'm going to share exactly what that is, because I know I'm not the only wife watching her husband struggle, and I know there are men out there who deserve to feel like themselves again. Stay with me. This one is for you. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi! I'm Dr. Julia Rhodes, a men's sex therapist and hormone health specialist with over a decade of clinical experience working one-on-one with men, navigating the very real, very personal changes that come with aging. Declining libido, performance anxiety, energy crashes, and hormone shifts that no one prepares you for. In my practice, I've sat across from hundreds of men, successful, strong, loving men, who came to me quietly ashamed of something they had absolutely no reason to be ashamed of. Men who had given everything to their families, their careers, their marriages, and yet in this one area, they felt like they were failing. That breaks my heart every single time. Now, I want to address something that I think a lot of men over 60 are privately dealing with but rarely talking about out loud, and that is intimacy. Specifically, the frustration that comes when your body doesn't quite respond the way it used to. I want to start by saying this. If you can relate to this, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. What you're experiencing is extremely common. Studies show that a significant number of men over 60 experience changes in sexual stamina and performance, and most of them suffer in silence because nobody is talking about it in a real, relatable way. Well, today I'm breaking that silence because my husband went through it, and we found something that actually worked. About 2 years ago, my husband started pulling away. Not emotionally, we were fine emotionally, but physically, I could tell something was bothering him. He was quieter after we were intimate, more in his head, and one evening, he finally opened up to me. He said, "I feel like I'm letting you down. I feel like things end too quickly, and I don't know why. I used to be able to..." And then his voice trailed off. And I remember thinking, this man has given me 30 years. He has been my rock. And now he's sitting here, embarrassed about something that is completely outside of his control. That broke my heart. What made it harder was that he had tried to fix it on his own, quietly, without telling me. He'd read articles late at night, he'd tried changing things here and there, but without the right information, without a real framework, nothing stuck. And every time something didn't work, the shame grew a little deeper. I want to be honest with you. This affected our relationship. Not our love, but our closeness. There was a wall forming that neither of us wanted, and we both knew it. So we made a decision. We were going to face this together, out in the open, as a team. So we did what we always do when we face something together. We started researching. We talked to his doctor. We changed some habits. And over several months, something genuinely shifted. I want to share what we learned, because I believe every man deserves to feel confident, connected, and fully present with his partner. And it starts with understanding why this happens in the first place. First, let me explain what's actually going on in the body, because once my husband understood this, it removed all the shame and replaced it with a plan. And as a clinician, this is something I feel strongly about. When men understand the biology behind what they're experiencing, the shame dissolves. It stops feeling like a personal failure and starts feeling like a problem with a solution. That shift in mindset is powerful. Number 1, testosterone decline. After 40, men lose roughly 1 to 2% of testosterone per year. By 60, that adds up. Testosterone plays a huge role in libido, energy, and yes, how long a man can sustain intimacy. This isn't weakness, it's biology. Number 2, blood flow changes. The circulatory system naturally becomes less efficient with age. Sexual performance depends heavily on healthy blood flow. When circulation is sluggish, the body struggles to maintain the physical response needed for lasting intimacy. Number 3, stress and mental load. Here's the one nobody talks about enough. Men over 60 are often carrying enormous mental weight. Retirement concerns, health worries, family responsibilities. Stress triggers cortisol, which directly suppresses testosterone and disrupts performance. And here's what I see clinically. The stress of performing poorly in the bedroom creates more cortisol, which makes performance worse, which creates more stress. It becomes a cycle. Breaking that cycle is one of the most important things a man can do, and it doesn't require medication. Number 4, lifestyle factors. Diet, sleep, alcohol, exercise, or the lack of these things compound everything. The body keeps score of every late night, every skipped workout, every processed meal. Now, here's the good news. Every single one of these factors is addressable. Not with a pill, not overnight, but with consistent, simple daily habits. Which brings me to the secret. My husband's secret isn't one thing. It's a combination of 4 daily habits that, together, made a dramatic difference. He calls it his daily 4. And after 6 months of consistency, the results genuinely surprised us both. I want to be very clear about something before we dive in. These are not quick fixes. They are not hacks. They are simple, sustainable daily practices that work with your body instead of against it. The men I've seen commit to these habits don't just perform better in the bedroom. They feel better in every area of their lives. Every morning, my husband walks for 30 minutes. That's it. No gym, no running, just a brisk morning walk. Why does this matter? Because walking is one of the most powerful things a man can do for his cardiovascular health. And cardiovascular health is directly tied to sexual performance. A healthy heart pumps blood efficiently. Efficient blood flow means better physical response during intimacy. But it goes deeper than that. Morning walks also regulate cortisol, that stress hormone we talked about. Starting the day with movement tells your body, we are calm, we are strong, we are okay. That mental shift carries all the way into the bedroom. Walking also stimulates the release of nitric oxide in the blood vessels, a natural compound that improves circulation throughout the entire body. Many men don't realize that the same mechanism that supports heart health is the same one that supports sexual performance. You cannot separate the two. My husband started with just 10 minutes, then 20. Now he won't miss his walk for anything. He says it's the single habit that changed everything else. This one is simple but powerful. My husband made 2 food changes that directly impact testosterone and blood flow. First, he dramatically reduced processed foods and sugar. I know, easier said than done. But here's the truth. Sugar spikes insulin, and chronically elevated insulin is linked to lower testosterone. Cutting back on daily sugar intake, swapping the evening cookies for fruit, the white bread for whole grain, made a noticeable difference in his energy and his drive. Second, he added specific foods known to support circulation and testosterone. We're talking about dark, leafy greens like spinach and kale, nuts, particularly walnuts and almonds, eggs, olive oil, fatty fish like salmon twice a week. These aren't exotic superfoods. They're foods you can find in any grocery store. One thing I always tell the men in my practice, you don't need a complicated diet plan. You just need to crowd out the bad with the good. Every time you choose a handful of almonds over a bag of chips, you are doing something real for your hormonal health. Small, consistent choices add up to enormous change over time. He didn't go on a diet. He just made smarter swaps. And within weeks, he said he felt more energetic, and that energy absolutely translated into intimacy. Okay, this is the one that surprised us both the most. My husband started practicing a simple, deep breathing technique called box breathing. It takes 4 minutes a day. That's it. Here's how it works. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts. Repeat for 4 minutes, ideally every morning or before bed. Now, why does this help in the bedroom? Because the ability to last longer is largely a nervous system issue. When a man is anxious or too stimulated, the sympathetic nervous system takes over. That's the fight or flight response, and it accelerates everything. Box breathing trains the parasympathetic system, the rest and digest response, to stay in control. In plain terms, men who practice breathing techniques learn to stay calm and in control under pressure. That control transfers directly to physical intimacy. My husband started using this technique, and within weeks, he said the difference was remarkable. In my clinical work, I've introduced this technique to men who were convinced nothing non-pharmaceutical would help them. And they come back weeks later genuinely shocked. The nervous system is trainable. The body responds to what you consistently practice. 4 minutes a day is all it takes to begin rewiring your response. This is science-backed, completely free, and takes less time than brushing your teeth. Please try this one. The fourth secret isn't physical at all. It's emotional, and it might be the most important one. My husband and I started having what we call 5-minute check-ins every night before bed. No phones, no TV, just 5 minutes where we each share something, how we're feeling, what we're grateful for, what's weighing on us. Why does this help with intimacy? Because emotional connection is the foundation of physical intimacy, especially for long-term couples. When there's unresolved tension, unspoken stress, or emotional distance, the body feels it. Performance suffers. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen a man's physical performance improve simply because he started communicating more openly with his partner. Not because anything physically changed, but because the weight he was carrying alone got lighter. Emotional safety is not a soft concept. It has real, measurable effects on the nervous system and hormonal health. When my husband started opening up, when he stopped carrying everything silently, something relaxed in him. He became more present, more confident, more connected to me. And that safety translated into the most intimate, unhurried, meaningful experiences we've had in years. Don't underestimate this one, gentlemen. So after 6 months of my husband consistently practicing these 4 habits, the daily walk, the food switches, the breathing technique, and our nightly check-ins, what actually changed? His energy was noticeably higher. He stopped feeling that mid-afternoon crash that had become his normal. He slept better. His mood was steadier. But the biggest change? his confidence. He stopped dreading intimacy and started looking forward to it. He stopped feeling like he was racing against his own body. He felt in control again. I want to add something here from my professional perspective. The men who see the most dramatic results are not necessarily the ones who start the strongest. They are the ones who stay consistent. 6 months of imperfect daily effort beats 2 weeks of perfect effort every single time. My husband had setbacks. Days he skipped the walk. Weeks the diet slipped. But he came back to it. And that consistency is what changed everything. And for me, having my husband back, fully present, confident, and connected, that was everything. This isn't just about lasting longer in bed. It's about feeling like yourself again. It's about showing up fully for your partner. It's about not letting age steal something beautiful from your relationship. If you're a man watching this, maybe your wife sent it to you, maybe you found it yourself, I want to speak to you directly for a moment. What you're feeling, the frustration, the embarrassment, the quiet sense that you're somehow failing your partner, I need you to hear this. You are not failing. You are aging. And aging is not a disease, it's a process, and processes can be worked with. I have sat with men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who made these changes and got their lives back. Men who had given up. Men who told me they figured this was just how it was going to be from now on. They were wrong. And if that's what you're telling yourself, you are wrong too, in the best possible way. My husband told me something a few months after he started seeing changes. He said, I spent a year feeling ashamed of something I didn't have to be ashamed of. I just needed the right information and the courage to do something about it. That's all this is, information, and the courage to apply it. You are not too old. You are not broken. You just need a new approach. And now you have one. Before I wrap up, here are 3 quick bonus tips my husband swears by that didn't make the main list, but absolutely deserve a mention. Bonus tip number 1, reduce alcohol. Even 2 drinks a night consistently suppresses testosterone and slows the nervous system. My husband cut back to weekends only and said it made a noticeable difference within the first 2 weeks. Bonus tip number 2, prioritize sleep. Deep sleep is when the body produces the majority of its testosterone. Men who sleep less than 6 hours consistently are working against themselves hormonally. My husband moved his bedtime an hour earlier, and the difference was significant. Bonus tip number 3, see your doctor. Please, I want to say this clearly. Some performance issues in men over 60 are linked to treatable conditions: low testosterone, blood pressure issues, early diabetes. A simple blood panel can tell you everything. There is no shame in talking to your doctor. It's one of the most masculine things you can do, taking control of your health. And if your doctor dismisses your concerns, find a new doctor. You deserve a physician who takes your quality of life seriously at every age. If this video helped you or your partner in any way, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Even if it's just, I needed to hear this today. Your words mean the world to me, and they remind me why I make these videos. If you're watching with your partner, that is beautiful. The fact that you're here together, looking for answers, is already a sign of the kind of relationship that wins. Keep going. And if you're a man watching alone, quietly, maybe late at night when the house is quiet, I see you. I hope this gave you something real to hold on to. You deserve to feel confident. You deserve to feel connected. And now you have a roadmap. Don't forget to like this video if it was helpful. It genuinely helps more people find it. Subscribe if you want more honest conversations like this one. And share this with someone who might need it. You might just change someone's life today. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, it's never too late to feel your best. I'm Dr. Julia Rhodes, and I'll see you in the next one.